Hi, my name is Jane Hokinson, and this is my EDL 851 Module 1 Personal Video in 3 Levels of Government Control of Public Education presentation. A little bit about myself first. This is my 27th year in education. I have taught anywhere from birth to 8th grade. I received my Bachelor of Science from Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. My master's is from Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri. This is my 19th year in Buckland. This is my second year as the out-of-time program director before and after school and summer school programs in Buckland. And I also coach junior high quiz bowl. A little bit about my personal life. These are the two things that are on my screen the most. A picture of myself and my husband. We have been married for 27 years. He is a teacher at Kiowa County, and he is also a coach there. And then this is a picture of our daughter who attends K-State. Go Cats. She is on the rowing team, and she is double majoring in human development and family sciences and personal finance counseling. And if you notice the little Canadian flag up at the top, that is a little known fact to some that I am Canadian. As we continue on into this presentation, the next portion is talking about the 3 levels of government and their role in education. What support do they give? Who's in charge? And what influence do they have? I created a chart in what we've read about the different levels of support, federal, state, and local. And a lot of the articles that we talked about really kind of talked about the fiscal levels of support, student achievement, and then accountability. And then there was just some other things that kind of were interesting that I wanted to add. Just very interesting to see of the fiscal support that each level gives. The closer you get to home, the more of the budget comes from your local. What I did find interesting, though, is that the federal, who gives the least amount, 8 to 10% of the budget of school budgets come from federal funds. They are more and more want more say of what is going on. And what I've highlighted in gray is sort of what has progressively gotten more and more of what say and what they want to regulate in our schools. The ESEA has changed a lot through different administrations of what they're asking for in accountability. And definitely in the reading it said that they tie accountability. If we're going to give funds, taxpayers, they should have a right to have somebody over them making sure that those monies are spent wisely. And then again, when we look back up, when it's only 8 to 10% of a local district's budget, it's just very interesting of how much they want to say. However, since the 14th Amendment, what the federal government has wanted to make sure of civil rights and making sure that they are guarded and protected. They feel like they have a lot of say in that and making sure that there's equality in people gaining education and receiving it. So I found that very interesting through all of the reading. The responsibilities at a federal level, what they say is that they want equal opportunity, equal access. They want to promote high standards. They are doing a lot when it comes to research and what are they finding. Currently, our Secretary of Education is Dr. Miguel Cardona, appointed by the President, confirmed by the Senate, and there is his yearly salary. At a state level, the Department of Education administers state K through 12 education. Found interesting, it is broken up into 2 divisions, the fiscal administrative services and then the learning services. we have a state board in Kansas that appoints a commissioner of education. The state board may not have a salary, but there is a salary for the commissioner of education. At the moment, the acting commissioner of education is Craig Neuenswander, and because currently it has been Randy Watson, and we are unsure right now when he will be returning to that position. And he definitely is the front person for all of Kansas and Department of Education, and that where he provides leadership and carries out the policies and programs established by the state board. And then at a local level for our district, USD 459 in Buckland, we have 7 board members that are elected, and they're volunteer. They do not get paid. Our mission statement is to create a successful education experience and develop responsible learners. And definitely the board follows the policy that we have local control, and that is given by the state. Our superintendent is Kelly Lampe, and there is his yearly income. How does all of this support the educational success and well-being of each student and adult? Well, just reading and learning about the 3 types of government, probably what does that all support is that there's accountability. Whether it was designed that way, but it has sort of come about that way. Federal government feels very responsible for making sure that civil rights are protected. They give information of testing and how students are achieving, and really do want to put that accountability on the states. Even though that may not be completely their job, but then at a state level, it is the job of the state to hold the local school districts accountable. And definitely a school board would be making sure that the teachers that they hire are held accountable for the academic success of the students in that district. So I think the support all around is definitely, that is the end means to it. The influence of each level. This was a very interesting to me activity to do when it comes to our learning outcomes for our course. Highlighted are the reasons why I picked each level. With course the CLO of 6.1, because of management, school level governance, the mission and vision of the school. That's why I picked the local would have that type of influence, because of data informed, equitable resourcing and plan. There's something that the federal government wants, and they want to be data informed, but then also in data informed, state has that, and so does local. Like we want to know we want to be data driven. School improvement, school development, all 3 levels of government really focus on that. And then at CLO 6.3, and when they evaluate and they communicate laws, rights, policy, regulations, you definitely saw that at a federal level, but then also at a state level. In the end, the correlation, if you want to take the time to pause that to read the correlation and the relevant, because I want to just talk about my reflection. Assignment did really change my thinking a little bit and made me think about what levels are responsible for what. I really appreciated some of the comments that in the article by Harris, that I could see why the federal government wants to have more of a say. When our Constitution was first developed, and education didn't look like what it does now. Back then it was just for a higher institution, and really local was just we leave it up to that. That doesn't have to be a federal government problem or worry or concern or responsibility. Now you can see that when you have a federal government wanting to promote and help end poverty, help support the economy, and they see that with education being the road to that, of course they want more of a say in that. And so that gave me a different way of looking at things of why maybe they want to stick their fingers more into what we're doing locally. But still, my point at the very end of my reflection is that if we actually, at a local level, focus on those things that the federal government also, then we are having more control over it than a vast federal mandate. Continuing on, here are my resources. And again, you can pause if you want to see them. And I appreciate the time that you've taken to watch my video. Thanks.